And there's going to be a lot of more people who are going to try to cheat Bitcoin, potentially even governments. And if you just keep on going back to the first principles, the natural state of the free market is deflation. When measured in the natural state of the free market, then Bitcoin should measure all prices falling forever. Most people don't measure Bitcoin that way. They measure in a US dollar derivative, and they think Bitcoin is going up in value against the US dollar derivative. And you have to remember, these are different systems. One system is the global free market and all prices will fall forever. In that system, you should self-custody. You should add a node. You should create economic nodes. You should spend in Bitcoin, and you should be part of a community that is the first global free market ever. And as you do that, you'll see it everywhere.
The global financial system is fundamentally broken. Central banks continue to print money at will, distorting markets, eroding savings, and centralizing power in the hands of a select few. But behind the scenes, a quiet revolution has been gaining momentum, one rooted not in politics but in mathematics. It's a movement designed to return economic power to individuals. In a powerful interview, Jeff Booth explains that while governments and institutions may try to manipulate or co-opt Bitcoin, they can't alter its core truth. In a truly free market, prices fall as productivity rises. Bitcoin reflects this natural deflationary principle, yet many still fail to grasp it by viewing it through the lens of collapsing fiat currencies, missing the bigger picture entirely. The old system is collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions. On one side are those clinging to legacy finance, on the other, those embracing economic freedom through cryptographic certainty. The transition won't be easy, but it's inevitable. Hard money is coming, whether the establishment likes it or not. The only question is, will you recognize it in time or be left behind?
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
The first, because I didn't get Bitcoin and nobody gets Bitcoin in the beginning. So it would, if you had a state change, the world going from one system to another system, that would be very confusing and you would likely misunderstand that. So ultimately, why you need to understand Bitcoin is we are going through that state change in the world. And so even though it feels hard to understand, people should stay with it because of that state change. So what is it to me? And maybe we'll start kind of in the state that everybody lives in today. We live in a control system driven by money. And that control system is an exploitative system globally that has to concentrate wealth. And as it concentrates wealth kind of accrues at the top and then joins with politics. And it has to be a control system that we lose. Humanity overall loses from that control system. And everything we do from that control system makes it stronger. As we fight within it, it makes it stronger. And what Bitcoin is, for me anyways, at least as I see it, is an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy. And it resolves that control system. It allows us to escape the control system in favor of a protocol that allows all of the benefits of our productivity around the world to accrue to us instead of someone else. And that state change that the world is going through would be really, like, if you're measuring that state change from the state change, it would be really confusing. If you're measuring it from the new system, imposing what I just described, it would be, you'd start to see how the world heals everywhere because of Bitcoin. So technology stocks or technology products are winner take most, and until the new better technology comes along. Protocols are winner take all, and everything is built on top of a protocol. So I was really intentional when I said the 5 words connected. So they're all the interdisciplinary, an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy. All five of those words matter a lot, and it's open. Anybody can choose to move to it. It's decentralized, so having more Bitcoin, it doesn't give you any more control of the network. It's decentralized around the world. It's secure. In 16 years, nobody's ever attacked it, or ever, and even worse, every single person who's tried to control it, essentially tried to cheat it, could have done better if they just bought it on the cooperative network. It's amazing. So it's actually it's staggering in the fact that if you cheat Bitcoin, you only cheat yourself. And more people will try to cheat Bitcoin, but that's, at least in the 16 years to date, it's proven that. Protocol, and protocols are winner take all. There is only one internet, and it comes in layers. You have a choice on the internet. You could be North Korea and choose for your society not to be on the internet, and they suffer the consequences. But you cannot choose. You're either on the internet or you're off of the internet. And the internet and protocols come in layers and add more and more functionalities in layers, and it's bounded by energy. So when you put those five things together, and you say, what would that world describe, versus something that is manipulated. Our time is manipulated and money's manipulated, and that would describe perfectly the first global free market that ever existed when measured from the protocol. But it would also it would create a whole bunch of confusion, because we don't see protocols very often. It would create confusion, and we see technologies more often. So it would say it would be easy to to conflate the protocol with another coin and say, I have a faster, better coin. And most people would be convinced then Bitcoin is old technology and the new one would be better. It would be normal that the transition would look exactly like it looks, because most people would misunderstand how protocols are winner take all. They would think they need some other piece of technology. They would think they need something else, some other blockchain, without understanding this deep enough, because they don't understand protocols nor technology deep enough. And then if you added the point that a whole bunch of venture capitalists and others could get rich by creating exit liquidity on those same people, all of the incentives would align to make that happen more. And the world we're seeing as we go through one system to another, and all of the noise that would naturally happen would be normal, because of incentives in the market out of the broken system and trying to cheat a new protocol that can't be cheated. You would have to create other coins, and a lot of people would fall for that because they didn't understand the difference between protocol and technology. So this would be perfectly normal.
Most people don't understand Bitcoin at first, and that's no surprise. We've all been conditioned by a failing financial system built on control and manipulation. But that system is crumbling. Bitcoin isn't just digital cash, it's an unstoppable protocol rewriting the very rules of money. While banks and governments cling to their power, Bitcoin is quietly building the first true free market, where value rewards creators, not manipulators. The shift is messy, but it's inevitable. Governments fear Bitcoin because it can't be controlled, it's open source, decentralized, and designed to return power to individuals. Sure, it faces challenges like privacy concerns and attacks, but Bitcoin doesn't compromise, it evolves layer by layer. This is what true free markets look like, driven by relentless innovation, deflation, and the collapse of artificial scarcity. According to Jeff Booth, Bitcoin isn't just money, it's the blueprint for a world where people, not politicians, hold the power. The revolution may look chaotic, but that's what happens when old systems lose their grip. Decentralized technologies always win in the end. Ready to dive deeper? Let's watch more from Jeff's powerful interview.
So, being an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy, then there might be a whole bunch of people kind of in the government. The government is terrible. Their government is controlling us. Everything else, and in that control structure, wouldn't allow Bitcoin to be able to survive because it was open, because anybody could see the transactions. So inside there's honestly, there's probably some reasonable arguments to saying there's not enough privacy, and as this structure gets bigger and bigger and more concentrated, they're going to come and attack Bitcoin. And they're going to attack the protocol with everything they have to be able to stop this from removing that power, essentially by redistributing the power back to people instead of government in the natural state of the market. So they would worry about that. And in that, it might make sense to have a privacy coin. And that privacy coin might not be somebody saying, I'm going to try to destroy Bitcoin. I'm going to try to create something that can evade that. So inside that, the nuance of that example, right, you could say, is that a good idea? And the idea of privacy is a good idea, right? Especially if you had a massive control structure trying to attack a decentralized secure protocol bounded by energy. Now, we've seen through this process that Bitcoin has stayed resilient in the entire time, and no government can control it, at least not yet. But I can understand why somebody might think they have to be totally private, but what you find in the protocol is the protocol is developing the privacy on layers above Bitcoin. Instead of needing a new coin, that coin centralizes and becomes a problem because so there's some ideas within the coins that make sense and extend the functionality and the benefits of Bitcoin, but they come in different layers, so you don't need a new coin. And then the other part of that. So I would say what I just described might be a good actor or an actor that thought through this is needed, right? But then once the coin and the way that the coin is mined, and they have most of the most of the coins, and it realizes it can't be everything else, then I'm married to this thing that all my wealth is in, and now I'm making different decisions based on my own personal needs of this thing. So you find the incentives kind of misaligned on a lot of these other coins. But by the way, if you follow the early internet protocol development, you found a lot of competing ideas, many centralized companies trying to control the internet, right? Trying to have something else, and this is the one we're going to use. But the open decentralized protocol beat them all, and they all failed. And then it extended functionality through that same process. So that's a process that's happening in Bitcoin, and it feels messy. But it's actually not messy. It's that messiness is part of the evolution that resolves this paradox of us living in a system of control and moving to one of freedom. The natural state of the free market is deflation. In other words, you only use things that give you more value, and all companies, all entrepreneurs, anything that's kind of willed into existence from our brains have to compete against what was there before. And you only use the things that give you more value. So you are a part of the thing that is the natural state of the free market. The entire globe, 8 billion people's ideas competing for you. The output of that has to be deflation. And then as we create more ideas, let's use an idea, AI, right? And we compete to provide better tools in AI. The people will use those things to remove labor faster, to be able to provide more value. Because if they don't provide more value, the company that does provide more value will kill them. Why will the company that provides more value kill them? Because you won't use the one with less value. So you are an integral part of creating the natural state of the free market as deflation. And it's not zero inflation. It's deflation, like faster and faster deflation, where if you didn't work, everybody working and everybody doing the world work would benefit you anyways, because prices, everything would fall faster and faster and faster for you forever. So if that's the natural state of the world, and technology is a supercharger of that, and when you say technologies, think about it, it's just different ideas that we're trying to solve problems to be more efficient. And those ideas, so that in that world, anything that's scarce creates an attack of entrepreneurs, because there's more money where the scarcity lies, and an attack of entrepreneurs to solve problems for us that results in prices falling.
As Bitcoin tests the $84,500 resistance amid rising macroeconomic uncertainty, its price action signals something deeper than market volatility, a fundamental economic shift. What we're witnessing is the clash of two systems: the fading centralized financial regime and a rising decentralized alternative. While traders obsess over tariff news and Fed rate cut odds, they're missing the real story. This turbulence marks the breakdown of an inflation-based system, now being challenged by deflationary technology. Jeff Booth reminds us that the natural state of a free market is deflation, a truth current institutions resist with monetary manipulation and trade wars. But Bitcoin's resilience tells a different tale. As traditional markets shake on recession fears, Bitcoin is holding firm around $80,000. It's not just a speculative asset, it's the backbone of a decentralized, open financial network that functions outside centralized control. Bullish positions targeting $85,000 to $90,000 reflect more than optimism, they're votes for a new economic paradigm. One that's powered by energy, protected by code, and immune to traditional levers like interest rates or regulations. What looks like volatility is actually the market adjusting to a reality it can't ignore. Technology-driven deflation is here, and Bitcoin is its foundation. The old system is clinging on, but the protocol marches forward, because in the end, mathematics doesn't bend. Can Bitcoin's fixed supply truly coexist with a world of limitless productivity powered by AI and robotics? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these two awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.